Health systems all over the world are currently responding to the COVID-19 outbreak. In the absence of licensed vaccines or therapeutics, infection prevention and control (IPC) is the mainstay preventive measure for healthcare workers and communities. The Ministry of Health of Uganda, in collaboration with the Infectious Disease Institute (IDI), have prepared this training material to provide an understanding of the principles of IPC during the processes of screening, triaging, and management of patients being investigated for COVID or with confirmed COVID-19 disease. In this video, we shall demonstrate the appropriate use of personal protective equipment or PPE. PPE are specialized materials worn in the healthcare setting to create a barrier between infectious material like body fluids and portals of entry like eyes, nose, mouth, and broken skin. In a COVID-19 context, rational use of PPE can be classified into 4 levels. Level 1 consists of your personal clothes or scrubs, a cloth mask, and closed shoes. This level should be assumed where there is no anticipated contact with patients. Individuals are also encouraged to maintain a physical distance of at least 2 meters when in this level of PPE. Level 2 is a substitution of a cloth mask with a surgical or medical mask. And this level should be assumed where there is interaction with no physical contact with patients. Healthcare workers are advised to avoid making contact with patients or patients' belongings while in this level of PPE. This is ideal for screening at points of entry into hospitals or into buildings. Where maintenance of a 2-meter social distance is not feasible, healthcare workers should consider addition of a face shield or goggles. Level 3 PPE consists of a medical mask or a respirator, facial protection, which can be goggles or a face shield, body protection, which can be a gown or a coverall, and 2 pairs of gloves. And this level should be assumed where healthcare workers are interacting and touching patients either suspected or confirmed with COVID-19. It's important to note that this level of PPE is protective where there are no aerosol generating procedures on the continuum of care. Examples of activities where this level of PPE is applicable include transfer of patients into isolation from triage, delivery of food for patients in isolation, or performing physical exams that do not involve manipulation of the airway. If such interactions are occurring in a designated treatment center, shoe covers or gumboots should be used. And healthcare workers should consider addition of an apron where there is an anticipated risk of splashes, or if the gown the healthcare workers are wearing are not water resistant. Level 4 PPE is not so different from level 3, with the only difference being mandatory use of respirators. This level offers the best protection, especially where aerosol generating procedures are part of the continuum of care. Aerosol generating procedures include tracheal intubation, collection of nasal or oropharyngeal samples, cardiopulmonary resuscitation, sputum induction, airway suction, among others. Donning of personal protective equipment. Before you start donning, ensure you have eaten, you have used the bathroom, you have switched from your personal shoes into gumboots, or you have added shoe covers. Put away all personal belongings, including rings, watches, phones, wallets, and any other form of jewelry. Collect all the necessary items needed for donning in appropriate sizes. If you have a large hairdo, it is advisable you put on a hairnet at this point. The next step is to perform hand hygiene. Don the first pair of gloves. Nitrile or latex gloves of a different color are preferred at this stage. Put on a gown or a coverall depending on what is available. For coverall users, It's advisable that you sit in a chair or you lean against the wall for safety. Secure the sleeves of your gown or coverall with your thumb to avoid the gown slipping back and exposing your skin. Put on a medical mask or a respirator and ensure it is well adjusted to fit your face. Put on your goggles. If you are using a coverall, pull the hood over your head at this point and pull the zipper all the way to your neck and lock it. Put on the second pair of gloves. Gloves with a long cuff are advisable or are preferable. This is because you want the glove to form a proper seal between your hand as well as your sleeve. If your gown is not water resistant or if you are anticipating a risk of body fluid exposure, put on an apron at this point. For coverall users, have a colleague label your front and back with your name, your role, and time of donning. All healthcare workers who have completed the donning process should be inspected before they go to do their tasks in the hot zone. Doffing of personal protective equipment. The first step is performing hand hygiene. If you are wearing an apron, remove it by holding the least soiled areas of the apron, pulling it off yourself, and rolling it by touching the inner surface. Dispose the apron in the designated waste bins and then wash your hands. The next step is removing the coverall or gown. For the gown, pull the gown until the velcro at the neck comes undone or untie the strips at the neck and the back. Remove the gown together with the outer pair of gloves. For coverall, first undo the zipper. Pull the hood off your head and take off the coverall together with the outer pair of gloves. Take caution as you step out of the coverall to avoid risk of falling. Perform hand hygiene once these steps are complete. Remove the goggles by touching the strap and put them into the reusable receptacle. Perform hand hygiene. Remove the face mask or respirator and discard it in the waste bin. Perform hand hygiene. Remove the second pair of gloves using the clean to clean and dirty to dirty technique and discard in the waste bin. Step into the foot bath for 20 to 40 seconds to decontaminate your gumboots. Once you are safely out of the doffing lane, perform hand hygiene with 0.05% chlorine. It's advisable that once you've washed your hands with chlorine solution, you wash again with soap and water. Continuous use of chlorine predisposes your hands to broken skin because it makes your hands drier. Addition of lotion is also helpful.